Hello my friends, I am going to show you the easiest way to pull a T-post. Now I've seen all kinds of different ideas on YouTube on how to pull a T-post. Some of them are pretty clever, but still they're not the easiest way, and you gotta have certain things around to do it. The easiest way is how I'm going to show you right now. So behind me I have these tree protectors that I made that are held in place by T-posts, and I'm pulling them out because all the trees died because they didn't get enough water and different reasons. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how to get this T-post out of the ground post haste, the easiest method ever. So this is going to show you from start to finish how to get this out of here. All right, my friends, here it is. Here's the magic secret. This is a T-post puller, and I'll show you how it works in a minute. But basically you hook it in there and you pull it up, okay? It also has a chain hook, so if you need to wrap a chain around something, and you can pull other things with this. I've pulled out grounding rods with this, and I've pulled out other kinds of stakes and posts with it too. So here we go. Seriously folks, spend the money, it's worth it. So you want to hook it on the little notches that are on the one side of the T-post, and you can crank it up, and I'll show you how. So there you have it. Look at that. It took less than a minute to get that out of there. Now some T-posts can be in hard ground, and it may take a little longer, and it may take more leverage, and so on and so forth. But I have seen so many different ways, even people with tractors using a chain and wrapping around them and pulling them out. And that works if you have that, but a lot of people don't have tractors. And for some really tough ones that might be useful, but most people don't have a tractor. Now I'll put a link in the description on how to get one of these things. Some of your local home stores will have them too, but you can order one from Amazon or Tractor Supply or one of those places. You can order from Tractor Supply online too. I'm not sure where I got mine. It's a pretty heavy duty one, and some of the ones that I've seen like at Tractor Supply don't look quite as heavy, but I think they'll work just fine. I've had this for a number of years. I don't see a logo or anything on it, so I'm not sure of the brand. But I'll try to find the best one I can and link to it. But you can do your own research also. And there you have it, folks. This is the easiest, simplest way to pull T-posts out. I have pulled probably a mile of fence using these over the years, There's usually multiple ways of doing things, but there's usually a better way or an easier way out of all of the multiple ways to do it. Sometimes, there's not a one size fits all. Sometimes you need to do something that's a little bit harder because of the situation or the circumstances, but most of the time there's an easier way to do things, and that's what I'm trying to promote here if I can. So there you have it. Let's not forget our message from the philosophical farmer. So in keeping with the pulling of the post, of the T-post, the bird up there in the tree. So the T-post was no longer serving me, no longer serving us. They actually have been out there for quite a while, and I've been meaning to pull them. You know how that goes, one of those things. The message is to get rid of things that are no longer serving you. So it's a good object lesson. So that post was no longer serving me. It wasn't protecting a tree. I can use it elsewhere. That type of thing. That goes for our lives too. We sometimes are doing things or supporting things or having certain mindsets that no longer serve us anymore. And it's time to pull them out, root them out, if you will, and change that to something that does serve us and move forward. It's a simple message. It's not always an easy one. One of the things that we're doing around here on the farm, especially in the barn, the shop, if you will, over there, is we're cleaning out because it's all full of stuff that's been sitting there and on shelves and things that we don't use anymore. Some of it we've been hauling around, you know, for over 20 years. It's like, why? If we haven't pulled that out and looked at it in 20 years, why are we still hauling it around? It's getting close to feeding time for the birds, and so the turkeys are making noise. But so there's things in your life that aren't serving you anymore that you need to clean out, clean the shop out, so to speak. Changes maybe that you need to make in your life, boundaries that you need to set that people keep walking over, all kinds of stuff like that. I'm sure that you can probably think of things that you'd like to change. And that's probably the way to go about it, is those things that have been in the back of your mind for a while, that I need to change that, or I need to stop doing that, or I need to stop letting people do this to me. I need to stop saying yes all the time when I don't want to. I do that too. You know, a lot of us are fixers or helpers. We want to help however we can, and we tend to say yes even if we don't want to do it, because we want to help the person and we don't want to hurt their feelings, that kind of thing. We need to learn how to say no sometimes and be loving about it. Not always easy, and sometimes it doesn't matter if you're loving, somebody's going to get upset, especially if they've come to depend on you for something that you've been allowing them to do or been doing for them, that type of thing. That's just one example. There's all kinds of areas in our lives where we need to do that. And so it's a good point to do some introspection and take a look. And those things that have been rattling around in your head for a while, maybe it's time to pick one and start on it. You know, just pick one thing at a time. You don't have to do it all at once. So anyways, that's the message from the philosophical farmer this time around. Seriously, folks, spend the money. It's worth it. All these other videos that say, oh, this is the easiest way to do it, it's not true. The easiest way to do it, spend the money on a puller, and you saw it took like seconds to pull it. It's worth it. They're only about $50 or so. At least the last time I checked, they might have went up. I guess I'll check and see how they are now. It's not like you're only going to use it one time. You're going to use, this is something you'll use all the time because they're always moving posts, especially if you have an acreage or a small farm or even a large farm. It's something, it's worth the money, folks. Trust me. All right, you guys have a great day. I think that'll conclude this video, and take care.